The LEGO news is just not stopping. We just got a reveal for a new Nike set, which is the Air Max 95. Now look, I don't care about shoes, but there's a lot of things that might make me consider buying this. Okay, so it's $100 and it will release March 28th, 2026 with 1,213 pieces in one minifigure. This right here is an amazing minifigure. It's the color scheme I associate with Nike with black and white. They got drip, if you ask me. Like, the fashion going on here is actually more realistic than so many other LEGO minifigures. I mean, yes, we're just sporting brands here, but the design of this has one of the most detailed minifigures I've seen in a while. I absolutely love the leg printing here, which has dual molded legs to the point of actually replicating the shoes found in this set. Like, we got a similar minifigure in the Nike Slam Dunk set, which was $40 last year. But that minifigure did not actually have shoe printing. And I like the color scheme a lot more with this minifigure. To be fair, there's no basketball, which I did love that aspect of that set. You could also interchange the face, so there's a more feminine and a more masculine face. The design of that torso right there has some dual molded arms that I adore. This is just like an outfit you could put on a civilian minifigure. And yeah, I love the use of that dual molded hoodie hat combo, which we first saw in Hidden Side. It's always great to get that in different colors and different printing. So it's a great minifigure. The rest of the set is a buildable shoe and this really strange stand. What popped literally is this air build where I'm like, wow, that really catches my eye, and just how they did this bubbly warding design of air. They use that interesting translucent design that's like a bluish with like sparkles in it. And I love the roundness that they capture, getting that color in a bunch of pieces that I'm not even sure we've ever gotten that color in. So that's really cool. I love that we get new color variants for pieces. The build there is unlike any other builds I can really think of. Like, I can't think of any other bubbly lettering in LEGO sets like this. But I mean, yeah, it's restricted to air, which I don't know how much I want to display air. But hey, it goes with the shoe. Oh my gosh, so for something where the shoe actually looks good from the back, the air looks terrible from the back. Like, really, they couldn't make this like a fully rounded design. Kind of feels like they cheaped out there, that they didn't want to put the pieces at the front, at the back. You could have done some studs not on top techniques to do that. And then, yeah, there's the shoe, which is very similar to what we saw with the Nike sets from last year, whether it be that Slam Dunk set, whether it be the basketball head set. The design here captures a very nostalgic shoe, which is the Air Max 95. You have the neon colors represented here with some different shades of yellow and green. I actually don't like how they use, as I call it, the highlighter yellow there, which is also considered like a shade of green. When I look at the neon variant that they're trying to capture in reality, just comparing that to looking at images online of this shoe, it doesn't really look like a green. And I kind of wish they went with a more green coloring. Maybe just a regular green would have been good there. You do get the spring green on the side there, which that looks good. That could have worked for that part, even though, yeah, there's two different shades of greens if you look at the shoe that they're replicating here specifically. I like how they build the side there with those different triangular plates and tile pieces. They actually got the shaping on there very well for what it is. Now, there is a lot of stickers in here. You can see some stickers at the front there, which is annoying. I'm guessing that these 1x1 cheese slopes aren't stickers, though, so at least those would be prints. And at the back, you got some more stickers. Well, okay, just this one. Love how they have the translucent designs at the side for whatever the heck we called this specific part of a shoe, which is very nostalgic to my childhood. Inside the shoe, you could see that, I'm guessing that's going to be a print of like the Nike and LEGO logo. At first, I thought they were 2x2 tiles, but it seems like they're 2x3 tiles. The Air Max also seems to be a print as well, so that is cool. Seemingly on a oval shield piece, which that's really cool. I can't wait to make nice minifigures covered in brand slop. Stickers at the back as well. As I previously said, I do like how the back looks. Once again, this little part I just love throughout the sides and the back there. I love how they use those smooth, round-sided pieces to circle around those parts. Now there's a stand which holds the shoe. You can see how you can remove the shoe. Seems like there's rotation on that shoe stand. Holds the minifigure and the air lettering, which the minifigure's on an action pose piece. That has a feature for a drawer that opens. I don't really get the use of that because it seems like such a shallow drawer there. Like, what are you going to put in there? Like, are you going to hide like Velveeta mac and cheese broccoli in there or something like that? I mean, come on. And the stand itself doesn't look good from the back. It looks very unfinished when the front is so rounded off. If you're a price per piece ratio person, $100 for 1,213 pieces is a good deal. But I don't know. I mean, I look at that dunk set from last year with the basketball guy. That was also $100. And while that had a smaller piece count at 1,180 pieces, it feels like that had a lot more going on there with that huge dunk logo, that basketball build as well. There was more size there. But to be fair, that was a smaller shoe they were replicating here, and this is a more detailed build for the shoe. There's a little bit of a trade-off there. Once again, I'm perplexed by this not being an 18 plus icon set when there's so many other sets that it's like, yeah, the Lego Sesame Street set should have been, I don't know, something that was like a 10 plus set. I get that it has a more complex build, but that could have easily appealed to kids. Something like the Mario Kart and things like that. Why are those 18 plus and why is this 12 plus? It's a head scratcher for me, but I don't see kids rushing out to buy something that's nostalgic to the 90s. However, last time I said that with this set, I got so many comments of people like, hey, whoa, I would have bought this as a kid. Whoa, my kid would buy this. So who the heck am I to say? And at the end of the day, yeah, I really want this minifigure. I like the pieces with the bubble lettering. I would never buy this set. I don't want to display a shoe. But I'm also somebody whose favorite set last year was the Game Boy set. That is a display piece of a retro thing prominently from the 90s. I know it was introduced in the late 80s, but you get my point. And that, I could see sneakerheads being like, okay, why would you want to buy that? Like, why would you want to display that? I like shoes, but I don't get the point of displaying a Game Boy that doesn't even work. So in no way can I be like, oh, what's the point of people buying a shoe that is out of Lego? You can't even use it. I get the appeal there in that regard. I can relate. I don't know. I'm just not really a judgmental person in general. If you're not hurting anybody, like whatever the heck you like. So yeah, would never buy this. I want this minifigure, and I would buy that minifigure if I found it cheap for like, I don't know, $10, but that's never going to happen. You know, people are going to buy this set and then part out the minifigure for like $50. Everybody's going to want that minifigure drip on their sig figs. My nostalgia with these shoes is these are the shoes that Joey Wheeler wore. Well, not the exact same color scheme, but yeah, I do remember this in the show and seeing that replicated in that regard. And funny enough, Nike announced a Yu-Gi-Oh collab recently to bring Joey Wheeler's shoes to real life, which is very funny because Lego announced a Yu-Gi-Oh collab recently. It's weird how all of these worlds are colliding. I mean, look, as a kid, I always wanted Lego Yu-Gi-Oh. Those were like some of my favorite things. But let me know in the comments, what the heck do you think of this set? Click that subscribe button, which helps me out, and also you'll stay up to date with all the Lego news with no bias in terms of me being a LAN. I will give you the honest takes. You liking the video? You leaving a comment also helps with this rough algorithm, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Bye.